every city or town center all over the country, you'll find a city hall or a munisipyo, the flag in front of it, a church and a plaza, and not far from the poblacion or right smack in the middle, a basketball court. And let's not forget, there's one in almost every barangay as well. Proof positive of the Pinoy passion for this team sport, where players are revered as showbiz celebrities, fueled by fans and fandoms. But what is it about players and coaches that make them want to transplant set skills, talent, and team dynamics from the basketball court to the political arena? It shouldn't be enough that popularity translates to votes. And if basketball is a game they love, will or do they enter politics with the same eagerness and fervor for people they will or do serve? Good evening, I'm Pia Hontiveros. Welcome to your weekly political appointment fix. Filipinos love both basketball and politics. Our guests tonight fit the mold. Former professional basketball players turned politicians. Live via Zoom, we have former Ginebra Cager and Pasig City Congressman, Vice Mayoral aspirant Dodot Jaworski. And joining us here in the studio is multi-titled collegiate head coach, Quezon City's 3rd District Councilor, congressional aspirant Franz Pumaran. Good evening, gentlemen. I was going to say congressman. Sorry, Konsehal. Konsehal, Franz. You're going to join us. Well, we'll talk to you first in the first segment of the show. Second segment, kay Dodot Jaworski. Dodot, thank you very much for being with us. So please stand by on Zoom. So I was about to say, what should we call you? Konsehal? Bakit nga ba?
Well, that's what they've been calling me lately in my district. Anyway, good evening. Thank you for inviting me here.
Yeah,
okay. It's been a while since the last time I was you interviewed me.
Oh, yeah, quite a while.
Yeah.
Konsehal because congressman and then konsehal because you've been a three-term councilor already. You've been in politics nga daw for so long.
Yes.
3 terms as city councilor in Quezon City's 3rd district before you ran for Congress in 2010. And another 3 terms before making this
this one.
second attempt at Congress. No? So let's begin first with that question about why you wanted to go into politics in the first place, because parang big name in basketball, then all of a sudden magpolitika kayo. What made you think of going to politics, and what made you think you could win?
Well, actually, I was just an accidental politician. In fact, it didn't even enter my mind. But we have roots in Quezon City. The first lady mayor was my lola, who just died recently, Adelina Rodriguez. Okay. And one of the barangay officials where I'm staying approached me. They want to include me in their lineup. I told them, sige, bala kayo, but I have no time to campaign. But lo and behold, I won naman, and that started my political career. If you base it naman, parang it's the same. You deal with people. Of course, basketball, you entertain, but with politics, you serve.
Okay. So accidental politician. It's interesting, no? But the way people see it is that you did quite well, no?
Thank you.
As councilor, and you were re-elected twice pa after the first term, and then ngayon naka 3 terms kayo, no? So, but sometimes people say, kaya patatakbuhin ang basketball player or coach dahil parang artistahin, may star quality, you're popular. And it's one thing, that's one thing, no? But it's another to do well, no? So how easy or difficult was it for you to do well? Because as a councilor, syempre, that's legislative work. And you really did get serious, right?
Yes, I think based kasi as basketball players classified as celebrities, so normally your first try, you're treated as a novelty candidate. They'll vote you because of your popularity. But I can only speak for Quezon City, no? But after 1 term, if you don't perform, I guarantee you won't win again. But for me, I guess my track record will speak for itself. That's why I'm still here. They really support me. In fact, right now, parang they don't see me as
as a coach.
A coach or what. They because I've been the majority floor leader with under 2 administrations already. So ang treatment nila sa akin is talagang an official politician that really serve in my district, not only my district, but in the whole Quezon City.
Yeah. Majority floor leader of the city council, and therefore, para siyang mini Congress, right?
Yes.
Okay, so itong 6 terms in total,
Yes,
is preparing you for
Yes,
Congress.
I think I'm quite, abreast already about, legislative work. I think it's very rare that different mayor, you were the majority, then another new mayor is still the majority floor leader. I think that only is a testament of what you can do.
Yeah. Okay. Can you compare a little bit more basketball and politics? Like, for example, and this is the part where I will pretend that I understand basketball. Something like, diba, the point guard is like the candidate himself. The coach is like the campaign manager. And for non-basketball fans, like, well, people who don't really understand basketball, explain first what a point guard is.
The point guard kasi normally is the extension of the basketball court. He handles the ball about 70-80% of the time. He's the one directing where to go and everything. That's a very good analogy, Pia. Point guard is a candidate. The coach is supposed to be the strategist, the campaign manager. And why did I say it's a very good analogy? I was a former basketball player. I was a coach. So it's easy for me to go to another, to that transition, being a candidate, running for a higher position.
Okay, so para bang the leadership skills that
Yes.
you do
For me kasi,
you have on the court, you transplant that to the
yes.
political arena, ganun?
Kasi leadership is a job public service and vocation.
Okay, but there are also yung tinatawag na set skills, talent, what is it? The discipline? What?
Yes, of course, the discipline. Even in the council, I think they know me very well. I have certain parameters with regards in running the council. But of course, I have to weigh things, try to assess everything because you should remember, in Quezon City, we have 38 councilors. So 37 of them, voted for me or whatever. They're all have mandates in their own respective districts. Malalakas ang boto na yan. But you really have to be careful in how to parang handle the whole council. Because you're not only representing the council, as well as the relationship between the executive and the legislative department.
Okay, and that's where the skills, the set skills come in also, no?
Yeah.
I want to ask you very briefly about what your plans are for the 3rd District of Quezon City if you do get to Congress. And if you do get to Congress, will you feel like, oh, I can do this? Because nga parang mini Congress ang city council.
Ako, honestly speaking, I think I'm quite confident that I can easily adjust if, God's will that I'll get elected. Because what I'm doing right now, it's just like Congress. Mayor Joy was saying, you're really suited in Congress. Sabi ko, is it because ba makulit ako? I like to argue and debate.
And shepherd things along, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, I'm with the NUP, National Unity Party. They recruited me. If you look at the list of the congressmen that they have, lahat yung mga
Makukulit.
makukulit. Yeah, you said it, makukulit. Si Kong PD, di ba, si Congressman Boyd Gonzales, di ba, sila Congressman Abante. So kaya nga I was fortunate. Sinabi ko, bakit ako ang nire-recruit nyo? Sabi na, because basically, we know what you can do. In short, maingay ka rin, makulit ka rin. But with regards to the programs, ako, I set my program to 4 P's lang . So, yung pangkabuhayan, pangkalusugan, paaral, and parang yung para sa pabahay. Diba? All of those have been magnified during my term right now. We were able to address all those issues. And now I'm just going to another level, national scope per se.
All right. We'll have more of the political plans of Dr. Jaworski, who's joining us in the second part of the show, and Franz Pumaren when we return. Welcome back. This is Politics as Usual. Still with us, Pasig City Vice Mayoral aspirant Donna Jaworski and Quezon City Congressional aspirant Franz Pumaran. We're going to speak to Donna Jaworski now. Donna, thank you very much for joining us tonight on the show. You're joining us via Zoom. Are you there? There you are. Hi. Okay. Well, let's begin with this now. When your dad, former Senator Robert Jaworski, first ran for the Senate and everybody knew he would win, what were you thinking at the time? Why do you think people voted for him? It's one thing to win, it's another thing to do well. Why do you think people voted for him at that time?
Actually, well, when you talk about politics, it's basically relationships with people. And my dad has been in the basketball limelight for the past, 30 years prior to his Senate run. And he was very popular
and well loved
in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And at the end of the day, it's a matter of trying to make people believe that you're worthy of the votes that they can give you, that the trust that they can give you as a leader.
Yeah,
I think my father was able to actually, he ended up ninth on that particular race, and we were expecting actually for him to place higher, but I guess we did not have the machinery that the other politicians had also at that time. But still, he was able to win, and he served the people proudly and well during his stint as senator.
And when he got to politics and to the Senate, and you had a front seat as his son, what did you like and not like about it?
Actually, when we entered the Senate, yes, I was his chief of staff at that time. Of course, the expectations of people were quite high. But my dad poured his heart into his legislative work, just as he did, when he was in another field, which was basketball. He studied well. He did the work that needed to be done, and he actually passed a lot of pieces of legislation that to this very day are still being used. And unfortunately, as a sportsman, when you enter the field of politics, sometimes you're branded as a jock, which is sometimes unfair. And but at the same time, it also comes with its advantages, because when you are again, unlike other politicians, since basketball is the most popular sport in the country, the popularity gives you that name recall edge compared to other candidates.
Yeah, right. Being branded as a jock does get the votes. How did you make the decision to jump from basketball to politics much earlier? And, syempre people are saying, okay, so you have Donna Jaworski, son of the Big J, entering basketball, it's every father's dream, no, to have his son enter the same field, no? And then now politics.
Actually, I entered politics before my dad did. I was a counselor in 1995, 3 years prior to my dad's senatorial stint. And then after his term in the Senate, I ran for congressman in the city of Pasig, where I was elected naman. So, kasi growing up, my dad always told us that whatever we had came from, it's just because of the love of the people, for him in particular. They supported him, they watched his games, they bought his products, and whatever he has achieved, he said it nanggaling yan sa tao, so it's our duty to give back to the people. And during my first run, I said maybe this is one way for me to be able to give that back, give back the love of the people by joining public service.
Yeah, can you compare basketball and politics? I had asked Konsehal, I was about to say coach. I had asked Konsehal Franz the same question. Can you do that? Compare basketball and politics? What are those skills that you bring from basketball and transplant it from the court into the political arena?
I think there are some similarities, especially when you enter politics. You don't usually enter as an independent. You usually enter as a team. Um, when you enter, when you're part of a team, I mean, sports prepares you for that, and that's one of the good values that you learn as a sportsman. And you get to, again, it's dealing with people. It's being able to communicate with people, because when you're after the game, for example, after a basketball game, my dad always taught us that you have to spend time with the fans that watch you. You have to listen to them because they came out there to support you and cheer you on. In politics, it's also the same thing, because you have to develop personal relationships with people. You know, it's a misnomer to believe that just because you're popular, people will vote for you. Especially at the local level, politics is all about relationships. So you have to build that trust with the people. You have to be able to, be able to touch them in their own communities, and be able to relate to them, be able to hear them out, be able to, listen to their problems, and hopefully come up with solutions also for them to know that who you are as a person, what you stand for. So again, it's building relationships and building that trust.
Mm-hmm. And now, though, that you're making a bid for the vice mayoralty post in Pasig as running mate to Vico Soto, how confident are you about winning?
Well, every time you enter an election, you put yourself in the hands of the people. I mean, that's the essence of democracy. As far as my confidence is concerned, I was asked kasi by Mayor Vico to join his team early on this year. I mean, I admit that I was the last one, I was a latecomer in the game. But if there's one thing that I realized is during my former stint as congressman, I've been going around now, and people are still my old friends and leaders, the people that I've been able to help in the past. They remember the goodness that you've done, and they don't forget. And they're the ones who are egging me on and supporting and organizing for me now. And the support has been overwhelming, and I'm very happy that things are going the way they are now. And slowly but surely, we're going to keep working. And again, if it's God's will, then hopefully we'll come out victorious with God's help.
We'll be back after a short break. This is Politics as Usual. Stay tuned. This is Politics as Usual. Our guests on the show, Franz Pumaran and Dot Jaworski, Konsehal Coach Franz. In the past, you could juggle being a coach and a city councilor. And then this February, you decided to leave the Adamson Falcons as head coach. And by the way, you made the Final Four, no? The UAP because of you,
yeah,
I suppose.
Thank you.
So that you could go into politics full time.
Yes.
So there is no turning back na ba? And why go into politics full time? Wala na ba talagang turning back? And what happens? Sorry, daming kong tanong all at the same time. What happens if you lose? Are you going back to coaching? What goes?
Well, first of all, during this pandemic, it made me realize a lot of things. Yeah. I was able to immerse myself with my constituents, the pandemic response. It made me see the whole picture, that they need somebody, a new voice that can really totally represent the district.
Why? Yung karibal mo, the incumbent, is not representing the district?
I don't want to comment about that, no? But like what you said, you covered you covered before in Congress. That's why you are called representative, because you represent the district. They are the extension of your constituents. You're the voice of your constituents. So they need a bigger voice in Congress to pass some legislative measure that can benefit the district per se.
Okay. And you are very confident about winning?
Well, I don't know if confidence is the right word. Maybe the right word is I'm prepared for next year's battle.
Nice word, prepared. Dr. Jaworski, I wanted to ask about your dad since we were talking about him kanina pa, no? How is he doing? He has this rare blood disorder or something, no? But we saw him very briefly in a video message when he was honored with commemorative stamps. So how is he doing? What is the prognosis?
Actually, he does have a blood disorder, but I can't really say that it's a rare blood disorder because we don't actually know what's actually wrong with him. Mm-hmm. The fact is that he has elevated ferritin levels, iron levels in his blood, and the cause of which is still unknown. We have sought the help of professionals, doctors both here and abroad. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, we are still at a loss. There have been no particular diagnoses on what is actually wrong with him. So that's why we continuously ask for prayers so that hopefully we'll be able to find a solution to his issues, health issues.
Itong run mo for Vice Mayor, is this it for you, or will you want to go for higher office?
Actually, as I did not have any plans actually going back to politics in this particular election next year. Again, Mayor Vico asked me to support him and help him run as his running mate. And, I started fighting for reforms 15, 18 years ago, actually, when I ran for Congress and subsequently I ran for mayor. Unfortunately, things didn't fall my way during that time. But again, things all happen in God's time. Mayor Vico ran alone in 2019, and he won. He toppled a dynasty, a 3-decade-old dynasty in the city of Pasig. And actually, Mayor Vico is making waves now. He's making changes that have been long overdue in the city. And we're very lucky to have a young, inspiring leader like Mayor Vico who's taking charge and making changes that have been long overdue. So I'm just here right now worried about, how I can fit in, how I can make sure that he will be even more effective. And hopefully, if I do win as his vice mayor, we'll make sure that, all the reforms that he started will not only continue, but will, be actualized into, transforming the lives of the people in Pasig City.
I wish we had more time, but my executive producer told me last 2 minutes na, and time is up. So thank you very much for being on the show. To Dr. Jaworski first, thank you, sir, for being here, and Franz Pumar and Kong Sehal. Thank you very much. I won't call you coach na. We've been told before, don't talk politics at the dinner table or the family reunion or in Viber groups and risk digital warfare. But we can talk about it here at this table on this show, your weekly political appointment fix, politics as usual. I'm Pia Hontiveros. See you back here next Tuesday, 8:30 p.m.